Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to be going over a bunch of unknown facts as well as myth busting a bunch of stuff in Apex Legends. And this really all is started because I made a video titled The Best Guns in Apex Legends, and we actually explain a lot of the other things in the game like damage drop, which actually does not exist, but over the course of time bullet will actually have drop off on longer distance shots. Really recommend you guys to check out that video too in addition to this. But what I saw a lot in the comment section below in that video, I was saying that the Devotion was actually better in time to kill than the Spitfire. A lot of people were arguing about this, but someone by the name of Mercules actually made a really good spreadsheet over here, and I'll go ahead and actually link that down below. But what you're seeing on the screen right here on the left side is actually the time to kill for all of the guns in the game. And in fact, this was data mined that there's actually a new gun coming out, or that's just in the files, called the L-Star. So I'm pretty safe to say that we should be able to use these stats as very accurate information. But anyways, going over the time to kill, you guys can see the Devotion actually has the fastest time to kill in the entire game. Now, with these integers, like the numbers over here, we're actually considering the target to actually have full HP and full armor, and these are all body shots. Now, there's actually something that I really want to mention that's important, and we'll hop into that discussion in a second. But in the game, there's actually a different multiplier in the leg, so you actually do not want to shoot people in the leg in this game, unless, of course, maybe their toes are showing and you're looking at an angle where you can only shoot them in the foot. But basically, you want to shoot them in the arms and the upper torso region. We'll also briefly talk about hitbox sizes in a second as well. But there's a lot of information that I think a lot of people did not know about, and I personally did not know about the leg multiplier, meaning that you will deal less damage if you shoot someone in the leg in this game. And you might be wondering, what is that integer? It's a little bit hard because they do use rounding in this game. But before I hop into the leg multiplier, I wanted to mention a few things that some of you guys did not actually know. For example, the Prowler, which is the gun that kind of looks like a P90, basically that gun has a mod, and normally people would think the mod must make the gun actually better. In fact, it actually has a slower time to kill. However, because of the way that the game works, is sometimes games have their rate of fire tied to FPS. So keep in mind that that's something that's very difficult to test. But theoretically, the Prowler without the mod actually has a faster time to kill, which is actually pretty interesting. But anyways, those are the raw numbers for time to kill. So just in case anyone wanted to argue what gun was better than another, I personally still prefer the Spitfire over the Devotion, but the Devotion actually has a faster time to kill. It's mostly because people can't control that gun's accuracy. But anyways, hopping into the leg damage that a lot of people were surprised about. Sean Slayback works on Apex Legends, and he actually tweeted out and said that everyone knows about headshot multipliers, but did you know that Apex has leg damage scaling? So this is something that people were arguing about. People were saying that the guns would have damage drop off, and in a lot of games over the course of a long distance, you would actually deal less damage. Now in Apex Legends, that's not the case. I've actually already showcased that off in my Best Guns in Apex video. I actually did explain that. But basically, this can confirm it. And if you guys are wondering how much the damage is as far as the differences, over here, looking at the Mercules Apex Legends time to kill, it actually goes over the damage integers as well. You can see the R99 SMG in the body, it will hit for 12. I can actually confirm this with a visual thing here to show off. Over here you guys can see that we actually hit someone for 10 with the R99. I know it's kind of hard to see where exactly the leg is, but it doesn't really matter for the sake of showing you off that specific integer. But in addition to that, there's actually something that I didn't know about with the gold weapons. There's, well, it's mostly the gold attachments. Technically, the gold weapons will have the gold attachments, but I just wanted to get the leg multiplier out of the way. Now, as far as the actual damage integer, I'm going to try to compile the damage integers because it's actually different on each gun, because not only does each gun in this game have a different multiplier, but they actually do rounding in the game. Specifically, looking at the chart over here, the 50 cal, the gold one, you'll see that in the head, it will hit for 188 in the game. However, the game actually puts it at 175.5. It's just the way that the game actually works. But I can confirm this with a previous video that I did, because I did shoot someone in the head, and a lot of you guys were wondering, how come he didn't die when you shot him in the head with the 50 cal? If he has purple armor, he will actually just take 187. Even though it says 188, it's just because the game technically rounds down or up depending on what the number is. Now, I really wanted to get the leg multiplier for you guys, but again, it's difficult because not only is there rounding, but it can be different on every gun, because different guns can have different multipliers in the game. So it's a very difficult thing to test, but when that comes out, I will give you guys that information on the leg damage. But anyways, Sean Slayback actually was talking back and forth with someone, and he says, ha, you nailed it. That's what, like 0.725x, right? And it's relatively close to that. So if you want to think of it as a negative multiplier of, you know, 0.25 or whatever, it depends on the gun. But basically, don't go for leg shots, okay? That myth is busted, all right? As far as like people saying that there is damage drop-off. Again, what you're doing is you're actually hitting them in the foot. That's why you'll see these weird damage integers, like the Spitfire hits for 20, so it's very easy to calculate, but when you hit him for a different amount, you're like, wait, what the heck? How come I'm doing less damage? Is it because he has a certain type of armor? And the answer is no. But anyways, going back to gold weapons, there's actually something that's a little bit different here. So this is Chad Armstrong. He's another guy that works on Apex Legends, and he says over here that gold weapon attachments have unique properties, just like equipment. And you guys can see over here, it says muzzles, it reduces the muzzle flash. On the scopes, threat vision, that's the gold one, it will highlight enemies. And another thing that a lot of people would argue about is if it would work through the gas or the smoke. We're talking Bangalore, as well as, of course, Caustic. And the answer is yes. And he actually says there are no gold stocks or magazines in the game. But that's fine, because no one's going to really argue that those exist, because they don't exist. But anyways, yeah, they don't actually give you anything extra other than, of course, the reduced recoil. Some people were saying it added damage, but again, that was just something that people would like to just say whatever. Another interesting thing over here. He says, pro tip, gold equipment has the same stats as purple equipment, but with a bonus perk. So with the helmet, you'll have faster tacticals and ultimates. With the armor, you will refill shields after an execution. A lot of people were arguing that the gold armor actually provided more stats, like you would actually get damage reduction. And there were people that were showcasing that off, but again, what was happening was you were shooting them in the foot. And I honestly don't blame the people, because I would have thought shooting someone in the arm and leg would actually be the same. But again, this has been confirmed. Another thing to mention over here is how much damage does the helmet actually reduce over here. So you guys can see over here, again, Chad Armstrong that works on the game. Pro tip, helmets reduce the total damage from headshots. The reduction is determined by the tier of the helmet. If it's white, you'll have a 10% reduction. If it's blue, you'll have a 20% reduction. And purple and gold will have a 25% reduction. Now, keep in mind, purple and gold are the exact same as far as how much they protect you. This is, again, something that was already confirmed. But helmets don't need to be repaired. There was someone that was arguing that said that, like, if your helmet takes damage, and you have to actually pop a shield. It was ridiculous. But, you know, sometimes people come up with ridiculous things, but this is, again, here to kind of get rid of some of these myths. So you never have to restore your helmet. They never break, okay? So we're good with that. Now, another thing that people were arguing about, and I mentioned this before, which was that they have different hitboxes, okay? So this is something that I'm going to link a video also, because the hitboxes over here, this is where I'm getting my data from, which is from Suki Spy. Recommend you guys to just check out his video, which I will, again, link down below as well. He did an excellent video on this, but it's going over the hitboxes in the game. And as you guys can see, Wraith's hitbox is ridiculous, and it's because the way she kind of poses herself. And even when she uses her abilities, she kind of hunches her back down, and it makes it very difficult to actually land her shots on her. But anyways, you guys can see over here the different sizes. But what's even more interesting with this, now you guys are seeing all of the characters in the game, and of course the hitboxes. But what's even more insane over here is someone made this little thing over here, and it says, based off of Suki Spy's hitbox images, legend hitbox areas are Wraith 33 square centimeters, Lifeline has 37, which is 12% larger, and Bloodhound is like the same, basically. But they are different because of the way that the characters are posed. Mirage, actually, you know what, let's have both of these up on the screen. I think this would be excellent to kind of just see both over here. So I'm just going to have this over here since the gameplay over here has already ended. So, anyways, important thing is Mirage is a little bit larger, and then Bangalore is actually the same size. But again, since the characters are kind of posed differently, they have, again, different hitboxes. But what's even more interesting is look at that caustic hitbox. We have 105% larger than Wraith. There was also an area where people were complaining about Wraith. They were saying that her hitbox was not existent. But anyways, you guys can see Gibraltar, which is the guy with the shield. He has 140% larger hitbox than Wraith. That is absolutely insane, dude. To me, that was mind-blowing. I had no idea. Even though you think, you know, he gets that shield, he can protect some damage, but because the hitbox is so much larger, that could be something that you guys might want to think about. Maybe you think, yo, I don't want to play him anymore because that hitbox is insane. And I remember people talking about this. In fact, Pathfinder actually has some weird hitboxes. There's areas, it's basically like a shoulder, so you guys can see over on the picture in the light blue. But yeah, that's the hitbox. It's kind of weird, but that's just how it works. But again, I wanted to kind of go over this stuff because a lot of people would argue about, of course, the damage integers and as well as, of course, damage drop-off. Damage drop-off does not exist. In fact, in my video, people were saying, no, I know that there is damage drop-off. I even showed it in my video that there is no damage drop-off in the game. What it is you're hitting them in the foot. And that was like kind of something that I didn't know about. But I saw that people were getting weird numbers and they didn't match up with, again, some of the like raw time to kills. It was just weird integers, and it's here to kind of solve any of the confusion. But recommend you guys check out, you know, the video that I made with the best guns, and obviously Mercury's his spreadsheet over here, which is actually pretty interesting, and you guys can see, again, the time to kill, which is the most important thing, but they actually show you how many shots it takes to kill as far as the body, and I will be making a video later down the line going over which guns you should be going for headshots with and which guns you should not, because did you guys know that if someone's at 200 HP, there is no point to go for headshots with the Peacekeeper, because it's going to be a 2-shot regardless. So there's a lot of good information that I will be providing with you guys very soon, but obviously we need to make that video. But I wanted this video to kind of serve as a myth buster, because again, it was something that a lot of people were arguing about. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If it helped you out and you learned something new, drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more Apex Legends as well as other gaming content, hit the subscribe button and you'll definitely see more. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.